Hello everyone and welcome back to another amazing weekend of Fortnite, XP League, and a Grand Final Qualifiers. I am Soda Pressing TV. If you guys don't know me, you probably haven't been around enough. But I am happy to be here with yet another weekend of XP League. And let's just hop right in. We're going to be watching Snow, Sleuth, and Mr. Six to start out. This is a really good team. They have consistently performed very well. So I'm excited to see how they go off drop. As we can see here, all the players are fairly well spread out. You know, nobody's too clustered together, which is which is ideal in early game scenarios, depending on what you're looking for. However, if you're wanting damage output early on, you want to cluster at least a little bit to where you know you can comfortably get some early game damage off. So, let's see how this goes. Alrighty, starting out on Mount Olympus, which is a great spot to be at. So, because there is a lot of that stone, which is the second strongest material to build from. So, that's really good. There's a lot of wood opportunity all around this area, so that's also good. The nice thing about Olympus as well is that there are a lot of loot chests around here, so you are almost guaranteed to get at least one or two pretty good loadout weapons, which is always nice to have. Already, Snow getting himself up to that 40 shield, while Sleuth and Mr. Six both have full shields and are ready to take on the day. And while we are looking at this, obviously, you can see around the map, not a whole lot going on. However, over here in Redline Rig, we might have some interesting things happening with Jimmy Slicings. Already you see on the board, though, the Jimmy getting a couple of eliminations pretty early on. So that's pretty good to see. Pretty nice to see. He's another one of those players that's really strong. So getting these elims early just kind of proves himself early on. Jimmy Slicings, though, gonna have to be really careful in a 1v3 scenario. If he makes too much noise, he could put himself into a lot of danger with Ollie Aim and his team right outside. Or right inside, I suppose. Like we might have another team also coming into Redline Rig. Now, something nice to note about Redline Rig in general is that there is a lot of that metal, as we saw Jimmy kind of trying to gather when we got over here. There's also, in the desert area in general, just a lot of those cactus that provide shield and a little bit of a jump boost. So that is something that I'm sure a lot of teams will end up using to their advantage in sticky situations if they find themselves in any. Jimmy has so far held his own pretty well, so let's go take a look around. I see Foxy JJ getting a couple of knocks in. Let's see if we can find him. I think I have probably gone straight past him. There he is. So, Foxy JJ with his regular superstar team of Superstar and Easy coming back again to show off their skills. Already in a decent spot, got 500 wood, so they're maxed out there, 298 brick, and a good chunk of metal, which in those later builds is going to be very detrimental to how their game is played. Already looking with a gold pump, also really nice to have early on for any close-up fights. So it'll be nice to see if they get any early elims with that early damage build off. No Maruski on the board, already getting an elim off on Blinksy as well. Let's see. Looks like we might have some interesting stuff happening over in Grimgate. See how this is happening. So we have Chub, Freeze, and Gearzoid. It's like taking on Esta up here on the high ground in Grimgate. I want you to notice that here they are doing that tunneling tactic where they kind of build up and out so that they have coverage while they move forward, which is very important. Already a lot of people going down. One getting the knock on J-Bone, and then that elim. While Chub, Gearzoid, and Freeze look to clean up this team here on Grimgate. Gonna look around for him. Trying to see if there's anything they can maybe get. You see Ojibo off in the distance. Currently down to 23 squads left on the board, with 60 players left on the board. A little bit of action, not too much going on, but for anybody who plays Fortnite, as you know, as the storm gets smaller, that's usually as it gets more chaotic. So I'm sure we'll see a lot more happening as we move forward. Zombie's gonna get that elim knocked off of him. Jake, Elite, both gonna go down as well, knocking us down to 22 squads left on the board. We'll take a look over to Jimmy's team. Now, Jimmy is also another player that plays pretty well, and he's using his fish out of water skin. That outfit is one of the pinnacles if you watched Grand Finals last year. Jimmy already down a lot, though, and gonna get knocked. But that's okay, because Lynn is right there beside him. Fighting to lock in their spot. Trying his best not to give away too much of his positioning. Trying to avoid a little bit of chaos that's kind of surrounding him right now. Which is honestly the best you can do in situations like this when you got a team above you and a team below you. You have to do the best. You have to do your best to make sure that you survive, even if your team goes down. Which is ideal in this situation. May get the reboot cards here. Who knows? I'm gonna watch Dunson, Six, Ruski, Sleuth, all gonna go after each other, giving Lynn the opportunity to go get those reboot cards. And potentially bring his squad back. Take a look across the map. Diddy, Peter, and Vaxify. All kind of in a good position, trying to get this high ground with these towers. Doing pretty good so far. Looks like we've got one elim on the board for Peter. Which is pretty good. And then this, giving themselves the opportunity to get as much info as possible. That's going to be pretty good. This one, Trixera, Esta, and Ojibo. We saw a little while ago. Just barely avoiding a team here on Grimgate. ideally, you'd like to have at least one person on your squad have that Flowberry Fizz to give yourselves an out in case the going gets rough. And that's what we love to see here, is we love seeing Ojibo and Trixera and Esta making sure that they have those preps, that prep in place for when they get into sweaty situations later on and need that escape, need that wiggle room to be able to fly the coop. Now, off in the distance, looks like there might be another team in the opposite direction, but I think as long as they play their cards right, they should be okay. Let's see what else is happening around the map. Looks like there might be a fight going on down here as Elvis, Zoki, and Kyle chase the last remaining member of this squad. Looks like Barracuda may go down here. Gonna get that full squad wipe onto Kyle and Zoki. Already in pretty good standings. It's 3 elims on the side of Kyle, Zoki, and Elvis. Which isn't bad. Foxy JJ cleaning up some elims up there as well on the leaderboard. You can see in the elim feed. Now, I like this. Elvis has a long-range weapon and a close-range weapon for those fights. It's nice because when you have the high ground, you want to make sure that you have the weapon that you can utilize from high ground, but you also want to make sure you have a weapon just in case somebody else gets up onto your high ground and tries to take you out. An eye out. Blue Island Lynn coming around. Gonna be taking that launch, jumping up into space. Trying to get out of here. Trying to avoid losing their placement currently. But Elvis locked in. Committing, but not too hard. Getting an idea of where they are. And just trying to keep that information in the back of his head. Kyle and Zoki and Elvis gonna be running straight into another team though, so they may want to keep an eye out. This team is fairly spread out. They may have a good chance to get a pick or two off here on Zoro and his team. You see Squigs up in his little tower up on the hill, walling himself off, trying to meet up with Fetch and Zoro. Might be in a little bit of a pickle here though, as Squigs not blocking off the left side, allowing Elvis the opportunity to get some decent shots in, get that damage off, and get that elim as they needed on Kyle's behalf. Fetch building his way up, but maybe in a little bit of a sticky situation here. Zoro, however, is going to be knocked by Zoki, leaving Fetch to defend on his own. Gonna get some decent damage out on Elvis, though, while Zoki and Kyle look to challenge, giving Elvis the opportunity to get some of his shields back. Good look here. Fetch gonna try and get out, but it's not gonna be enough, as the entirety of Zoki, Kyle, and Elvis all take a look directly over at him. Kyle and Elvis gonna be pushing up. Fetch might be in a little bit of a situation here. Not gonna get out, but a valiant effort was made. Just one of those situations where you're in a 1v3 and unfortunately you're just not fast enough to get out. Over here, let's go hop on over. Looks like Ollie and Alan's team. hanging out in the storm. Getting this reboot on Agent Death 007. Agent Allen and Ollie going to be trying to make their way from this reboot. Shouldn't be too difficult with it only being storm number 5. It shouldn't have too much damage. And this should give them the opportunity to at least get a little health back here and there. With enough bandages to keep them going. So hopefully, get back to zone. They're a little far out there, but they are not the only team hanging around in the storm. So they might have a chance to get back. Oh, the going's good. Looks like we might have a 4-man fight. 4-squad fight up here on the side of Superstar, Foxy, JJ, and Easy. Ojibo and Yokes on the other side. Superstar. Gonna be using that Flowberry Fizz. Just have a little bit of a speed and boost jump. Get back over Foxy, JJ. Easy, Super, and Foxy, JJ gonna regroup. Try and get better positioning. Little bit higher ground. And like I was saying earlier, that high ground really does give them the opportunity to get information, to get the upper hand in any fights that are going on, and to get easy picks off of anybody else who is actively in a fight, to get that third party off. And that's kind of what we want to see here as the circle gets smaller, is seeing those third party picks and seeing those massive squad fights that kind of result in 1 or 2 teams kind of coming out on top. You see out in the distance, that tower still being constructed. Zoki gonna get the knock on Aqua while we're here with Superstar as well. We see Mr. Six and Sleuth up top in this tower. Ojibo's gonna go down. Beast mode. But do Sleuth and Mr. Six see Superstar? Superstar just getting an eye on Snow. Take a look at what Mr. Six and Sleuth see. Doesn't look like they caught eyes on Superstar and JJ just yet. They are watching Peterbot's team on the other side. Not a whole lot happening between these 3 teams, but Mr. Six is going to try and get some akimbo damage down on Peterbot. It is going to take a little bit off of their tower, but it's not going to quite connect with any of the teams inside. However, that does show Peterbot and his team that they are being watched. So Vaxify, Diddy, and Peter going to want to be a little bit careful if they do decide to move out. Another team coming up quickly. Behind Peterbot, Bulla. Zero Yoke's gonna go down. To Mr. Six. However, Mr. Six in a little bit of a tight spot. Trying to reconvene with his teammates. Sleuth and Snow. Keeping an eye the best they can. But the circle is getting very small. And with 13 teams still on the board, might be in a little bit of trouble. We see Foxy, JJ, Superstar down at the bottom of this tower in their own little world. Made a little trouble. Zero Doom off on his own. Easy, Superstar, and Foxy, JJ might be in a little bit of trouble here as Mr. Six, Snow, and Sleuth rain down from above. Keeping it interesting. However, Mr. Six, seeing across the way a tower in the process of being built, gonna get some damage off on that side. They now see Superstar, Easy Fix, and Foxy JJ trying to get away. They successfully maneuver themselves into a better position. However, Peter, Diddy, gonna be moving out into full view with Vaxify. Magic, One, and Pixel coming up on the rear as well. Might be in a little bit of trouble if Mr. Six can get these shots off while his team is damaging the builds. Pixel, Magic gonna go down. One's on his own. Vaxify, Peter, Bulla gonna be coming in hot. One on his own, fighting to survive. While Pixel and Magic both go down. One gonna get taken out as well. It was a valiant effort from him to try and get around, but Vaxify, Diddy, and Peter gonna come out on top. As the storm closes in, it's gonna leave 11 teams. 11 squads pushing into this tiny circle as Diddy, Peter, and Vax gonna push it out. They're gonna stick together, reconvene, regroup, get themselves back into a better position. And they don't have team. They know that they have a team above them at least, and several teams below them, so they know that they're in the middle somewhere. Might be a good time to kind of keep an eye out, get your info, reposition yourself as the storm moves. Beast mode, gonna take some shots from Vaxify. Peter, Vax, and Did gonna be moving forward, giving themselves some cover from Snow and Sleuth up top. However, going to get a couple of shots in, do a little bit of damage to Diddy and Peter's shields, but not quite enough for it to be worrisome. Still working with a lot to build on, but they are going to come straight up into Trisextra. And with Trixera hiding himself, he got a little bit of time. Might be able to move. Moments are going to be detrimental. Especially with Trixera, Esta, a duo with Ojibo down. Gonna have to be very careful with these trios still up. And Esta still low. They have the Flipberry Fizz, but it looks like maybe they're trying their best to just tunnel themselves out. Work their way up. While the teams are fighting, they're trying to get their positioning underway. I mean, going straight into Peter. Did and Vaxify, though, so they may want to be careful here making too much noise. They hear the teams right above them. Phoenix, however, going to be right on the side with Drox and Beast Mode. Going to do a lot of damage. Vertrix and Esta still need to be really careful with how low they are on health. They don't have quite as many opportunities. Trixera going to go down. Leaving just Esta. Fend for the team. Now the team that just took them out knows there's at least one more. May look for the play here. Esta doing their best to just get out, maneuver their way through, survive the best they can. Doom also going to be solo here. However, Vax, Did, and Peter going to be trying their best to just tunnel through. However, they are going to tunnel straight to each other while there is a fight with Phoenix going on. Going to get a lot of damage out on Phoenix. Get that knock. Vax just trying to play catch up. Keeping up with Did and Peter. Might be in a little bit of trouble. Esta going to get the knock on Tatum. Peter going to get the knock on Drox. And Sleuth going to get the knock on Beast Mode. They know that there's a lot of people around them right now. Diddy gonna get that final elim on Tatum. Gonna have to be very careful with these plays, and they know there's somebody right above them. And it is gonna be Kyle that's sitting above them currently. But this is a 3. They are still a full squad. So it's not too stressful. Agwa's gonna go down. That leaves 5 squads with 10 people. A rough average of 2 players per squad. Elvis gonna go down. Get that elim. Four squads left in the mix. 8 players. Sleuth gonna go down. Doom gonna take a lot of damage. Get that elim from Vax. These final moments are where these builds mean so much, because if you have 1, 2 shots that come stray from you and get just enough damage done to you and you run out of those medkits, it's over. You can take a little bit of damage here and there. And you can do the heal off. Top 3 squads. 6 players left. Esta gonna go down. It's gonna be top 2 squads. It's a 3v2 situation. One wrong move for Snow or Mr. Six, and it's all over. Snow gonna get the elim, the knock on Vax, but in response, gonna get knocked and elim from Did. This leaves just Mr. Six. Mr. Six has enough medkits to make this work. However, timing is going to be everything here. And unfortunately, if he gets caught out, it's going to be all over. And just like that, Peterbot, Diddy, and Vaxify gonna take Victory Royale in our first match of the day. It's those situations where you have to be very, very aware of your surroundings. If you are not, the chances of you getting snuck up on, taking that extra storm damage, and then not having enough time to use those medkits is going to be your make or break in those situations. And as we just saw, it unfortunately was the break, but the make for Vaxify. So, we will be right back. Hello and welcome back to Match 2 of Fortnite XP League Finals Qualifiers. We had an exciting game last match. I'm excited to see how this one goes. Let's take a look. I'm going to start this one off on Luke. Let's see how his team goes. It's going to be Luke, Barracuda, and LM7. Excited to see how this all goes. As you can see, again, pretty good concentration across the whole map. Very decent spread of players all throughout. It's not going to be a whole lot of clustering early on, but as we saw last match, there's going to be a lot going on in those last few rings as everybody gets closer and closer together. There's going to be a lot of chaos. There's going to be a lot of fighting. There's going to be a lot just going on all at once. So it's going to be a little bouncy as we get further in. But starting out, we definitely want to see our players get the best loadouts that they possibly can early on in these games. Already 2 purples on Luke. Gonna be really solid with those 3 small shield potions and then the large one to finish it off. Top his shields up. And we're looking good. Barracuda already got a gold pump and a blue shoddy. So not too bad. Pretty good start. At 50 on his shields. Got some NPCs on the field. LM7, take the opportunity. Get some of the shots in. Already got 1 squad wiped from the board. Pretty exciting early start. Looks like we might have a little more excitement going on over in Restored Reels. However, no Marumski. Gonna go down. Tatum. Agua. Blinksy. Gonna get that clean up. Gonna finish that off. Drop on down. Finish picking up materials. Getting those loadouts the way they need them to be. See what, we got a pump and we got a Kimbo submachines. Not too bad. Got a lot of util packed away. Medkit, mini pots, big pot. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Over here, Agua with the jetpack. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Shotgun and an AR. Pretty solid over here. Blinksy. Also pretty solid. Pump, jetpack, medkit, big pot, and his little handheld submachine. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Can't complain. Can't complain. Looking at these. Let's take a gander. See if we can't find some action going on. Oh. Maybe. See, not a lot of teams kind of all together right now. However, might have something coming on over here. It's Tronics. I don't see him. Maybe swimming into a full squad over on the pier. Doesn't look like he's been seen. Looks like he gets out scot-free. Not too shabby, not too shabby. See if we can't take a gander. See what's going on with Shark, J-Bone, and Diamond. See if there's any excitement happening over here. Already, we see Shark has a pretty decent loadout as well. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Got some close range and far range. So already doing pretty good for himself. And the flow berries, which is going to be pretty helpful in situations where you need a quick boost of health pretty quickly. And that little speed and jump boost to get out of situations in a cinch. See Diamond also rocking a shotgun and a mid-range. Not bad. Lots of mini pots. And the Flowberry. J-Bone also rocking a shot. I'm seeing a pattern here. Just a little bit. So, it's nice to see consistency. I know I've mentioned in the past that one of the big benefits of everyone having the same kind of gun is that when you have bullets, you don't have to worry about finding specifically bullets just for one person. However, it can get a little down to the wire when you need bullets and your whole team is a little short on them across the board. So, might be worth looking at just getting maybe a third weapon in the future. However, right now, seems like they're in a pretty good spot. Looks like J-Bone may be looking for just intel right now. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Where we are down 6 squads. And 19 players. Zoro gonna get knocked by Bash. Let's take a look-see. Over. We can find... Bash, Vix, and Sizzles. Bash already with 2 elims on the board. Oh, and they've got in their sights yet another team. Vix might want to look to be a little bit careful here, though. With as little health as they have, may want to look to maybe just stay behind Bash and Sizzles. Let them work. However, they are going to be coming up on another team across the way. However, that team also spies them in the distance. Checking the bush with the shotgun. I like it. I like it. Luke gonna go down. Tiger gonna go down. Lynn gonna go down. That knocks it down to 25 squads still on the board with 63 players. Vic's getting a little bit of health back here and there. However, take a look-see around the board once more. It looks like maybe Golden, Aqua, and Lacuna might be in a little bit of trouble here with the squad coming down from high ground. But they're making sure they get back into their high ground. Gonna take that jump pad, reposition themselves somewhere else. However, Condog gonna be right on the side with Justin. Looking down at them. I'm gonna hide in the bunker very briefly. Gonna get locked out by his teammate. But that's okay, we've all been there. I guess some of that metal and some of that stone that we were talking about earlier, where those are the 2 materials that you really want to try and have just for security in these later fights for your builds, because that metal is going to be the strongest material. That stone is going to be second strongest. So having those to reinforce kind of what you're building later on in later team fights is going to be detrimental and crucial to how those fights end up. Make sure everybody got some ammo. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. However, look up here. Chubb, Freeze, and Gearzoid getting away, but taking some shots as they walk away. Doing their best to get out. Build some cover as they go. Looks like the team may have lost interest in the chase. Freeze taking a little bit of fall damage there. They're walking up on Agua, Blinksy, and Tatum, but I don't know that they're aware. So I'm gonna want to be careful here with this build. Right on top of this vault. This bunker. And I want to be really careful with the damage they've already taken. Shoving Gearzoid low on shields. Freeze at 81 HP. Gonna make their moves very precisely and very specifically to avoid any unnecessary damage taken. Sizzle's gonna go down. Get that knock. One gonna get knocked. Ojibo gonna get knocked. Already a lot going on across the board. Trixera, Esta. Both gonna get knocked. Superstar. Getting the finished elims off in that fight. Back to fight. And Jimmy! Both gonna get elimed. Unfortunate. We see Superstar with 2 gold weapons and a purple. Pretty well placed. Again with the shotgun clearing on the bush. I like to see it. I like to see it. Easy. Also gonna have a gold. And Foxy JJ also gonna have some golds. They seem to be a little over-prepared. But it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. So, I support it. They are going to be going straight into another team here on Doomstat. So excited to see how this goes. Octo really low. Octo gonna get knocked by Superstar. Foxy JJ and Easy gonna be going for Goat here. Gonna be looking for this fight. Looking to take this fight. Goat gonna drop down. Foxy gonna get some damage off, but gonna take even more. Gonna get the knock on Goat. Gonna get that elim. Need some fish. Have some sashimi, if you will. And finish up that heal. Pop off with some shields. We'll move on. Not the ideal situation to be in for any of these teams over here. Superstar coming in hot with missing hair, and Turbo going to get knocked immediately upon Super's arrival. Superstar living up to his namesake. Jake is lost. Gonna be in a little bit of trouble here. Fox GJ looking for the turnaround. Jake is lost. Might be a little bit lost here. As Foxy, Easy, and Super come in hot. Finish him off. Magic One Pixel. Looking for snow here, but we also have, as we can see, Mr. Six bringing up the side. Sleuth on the high ground. The team is spread fairly far out. Looking for angles. They're going to be going back together here soon, regrouping. Looks like we might have a challenge for Loot Island up here. Mr. Six, Snow, and Sleuth getting the high ground. Going to be taking the time to kind of clear these areas. Superstar, Easy, and Foxy JJ going to be trying to come up, but they are no match for Sleuth's keen sight. Runs to the edge. Takes a gander. Gets some shots off on Foxy JJ. Mr. 6 and Snow. Still hanging around. Doing the damage for Sleuth, doing the damage. We got another team coming up behind Foxy JJ, Superstar, and Easy. They're gonna be going around, trying to get some shots off on them, but they are not expecting Sleuth up on top, taking some shots off. Snow gonna have taken some damage here. Sleuth trying to get some shots off. Not gonna connect any of them. However, Easy, Super, and Foxy JJ gonna get some damage off and gonna get some elims quickly on the board. Between the three of them, there's gonna be 12 elims on the board for Superstar, Foxy JJ, and Easy. See, 15 squads on deck. However, if we take a look, got some squads coming in. We've got in Castle Doom, a little bit of trouble. Vaxify and Diddy sitting while Blinksy Aqua coming in on the side. Several squads going at it around the area. Agent, Xenomorph, and Ollie gonna get the cleanup on Jack. However, Jack's teammate gonna fly away. And that's gonna be a reboot coming in nearby as well. Dark Shadow might be in a little bit of trouble as Xenomorph, Ollie, and Agent come in for him. Me 3-man versus 1. Dark Shadow just getting away. By the skin of his teeth. However, Ollie may be committing here. They're going to take some shots from behind. Sage and Condog going to be on the left, running right past. However, Agent's going to take this time to regroup. Find some cover. Figure out a game plan. Let me see, Vaxify. Peter and Bulla. Still hanging around with Tatum and Agua. Above them. Killing some time. Getting some materials. Blinksy sitting at the top. We've got teams coming in around them. See if there's anything going on over here. Mr. 6, Snow, and Sleuth gonna be getting some damage off. Gonna be getting some knocks in. However, Foxy, JJ, and Easy are not gonna make this easy for them as they build around Reinforce. Ensuring that they have their own ways out. And own ways out they do in fact have as Superstar, Easy gonna be coming in. However, Foxy JJ gonna go down. Easy not in a great spot, however, gonna be building out the best that he can in a bad situation to try and give himself some space to breathe. However, unfortunately, not gonna be enough as Easy goes down. And that is gonna be Superstar, Easy, and Foxy JJ all elimed together. Leaving 13 squads on the board, 34 players. And this circle is about to get a whole lot more chaotic. However, Kriggle and Sunny pushing into Snow. Getting the high ground here. Snow trying to build his way up. However, Kriggle and Sunny expecting it. Keeping an eye out for Sleuth. Sunny running. Trying to build his way out. However, it's going to take some damage here. Sunny down to 20 HP. Has a med kit. Kriggle is going to go down. Sunny with 20 HP in a dream, but it is not going to be enough. And that dream has been broken by Snow, Sleuth, and Mr. Six. However, Sleuth in the process did get eliminated. So it is going to be a two-man fight for the moment here on out. Take a look at Dark Shadow Pancake Ninja. With Jack on the way out, this is a 2v everyone right now. LM7 and Luke down below. Condog as well on the lower right hand side. Luke and LM7 keeping their ground where they can. However, Dark Shadow is aware of their presence. Gonna keep an eye out on that. Lots of fighting going on here. One Magic and Pixel cannot be quilled. And they are going to get those elims on Gearzoid Freeze. And that is going to put them at a 5-squad elim total. Leaving 11 squads on the board with 26 players. This circle is about to get a whole lot more interesting. Where we look. And we saw in the background, we saw Shark, Diamond, and J-Bone bringing up the rear. Right next to Pixel, Magic, and One. Keeping their eye out on their prize. And with the circle being right next to them, they need to be very careful with how they make these moves. Positioning is going to be everything when the hill is the circle's final destination. 11 squads on the board, 25 players still alive. I'm excited to see how this goes as the storm closes in. Shark, Diamond, and J-Bone gonna be doing their best to run out. Blinksy, you see him. You hear him. Agua gonna take some damage from Shark. Shark gonna build their little bit of a base. Tatum, gonna be in a little bit of trouble. Agua gonna get that damage. Shark in a lot of trouble here. Can he do it? Yes, he can. J-Bone coming in clutch. Shark at 15 shields. Needs to be very careful with how he moves here. However, with that Flowberry Fizz, it is going to give him a little bit of leeway. He has 6 HP. Is he going to get out? Diamond's going to go down. J-Bone still full HP, still full shields. Shark barely getting out with 6 HP. However, he is being chased. Sleuth not relenting. He never does. J-Bone in a little bit of trouble, but he has managed to separate himself just enough. Xenomorph also alone as Agent and Ollie have both gone down. LM7 as well as Luke and Barracuda are both down. Vix and Bash working together the best that they can. With Sizzles. However, Vix is going to take a little bit of damage here from some stray shots from above. 9 HP with a med kit. Can they manage the heal off? Perhaps with Bash covering them. They may have an option. They do still have a jetpack. So they can still make maneuvers. However, they need to be careful with Foxy JJ above them. People are looking for picks everywhere they can. Magic Pixel and One. People coming up behind. Snow gonna get the knock on Vix. And gonna get that finish from Buva. gonna get that finish off. Xenomorph holding their own. Bash making them run for it. Doing the best they can. But not gonna be enough as the circle gets even smaller and the waves get even more chaotic. Dark Shadow's gonna go down. Snow is gonna go down. Mr. Six and Sleuth to bring it up. Did he gonna get the finish off on Snow? That leaves 2 squads left. And it's gonna be Sleuth and Mr. Six versus One, Magic, and Pixel. However, with Sleuth on the high ground with Mr. Six, this may be a fight to remember. We've seen similar situations with One and Pixel before. Having the low ground doesn't always mean anything for this team. We've seen them pull it back. One has the medkits if he needs them. However, he was not prepared for Mr. Six to drop down. Pixel still behind. Mr. Six taking a lot of damage. However, it is not enough. And Pixel is going to go down. However, Magic dropping on top. Knocking Mr. Six. Going to get the pop off. He is going to need to start this medkit here soon. Mr. Six is going to go down. This is going to be a heal off between Sleuth and Sleuth and Magic. Magic already going through 2 medkits. However, Sleuth has only needed to use 1 so far. This is going to be a heal off. Magic desperately trying to make sure that they do not mistime these medkits. Sleuth down to 3. However, there's more near him. Magic on last one. This may be it, folks. And Magic desperately clinging on to that last little bit of life. However, this is his final med kit. And with the timer ticking down, 10, 20, 10. And that is going to be it. And the match number 2 goes to Sleuth, Mr. Dog, and Snow. Mr. Six, Snow, and Sleuth bringing it around for the victory royale in match 2. That is going to be it for us on match 2. I will see you all again here in a few minutes with even more Fortnite for round 3. just have to finish it up and record it. Anyway. And we are back with the third and final drop of the evening. If you have not been here since the beginning and you are just now hearing my beautiful voice, my name is So Depressing TV, and I am here to host the third and final match of the XP League NA Finals Qualifiers. It has been an exciting night so far. We've had a lot of solid team fights. Both matches today, prior to this, have ended in heal-offs. So I'm hoping that we see a team fight. But if we get another heal-off, I'm not going to be mad about it. Just mildly disappointed. I'm just kidding. I love seeing these kids go at it in every way possible. Seeing those last, like, nail-biting situations where it's quite literally a second difference between these kids is so incredible to witness. And seeing it in real time so early is so incredible. It's amazing. And overall, these kids are here to have fun, to play Fortnite, and, you know, have a good time. Like, that's all I want to see. That's what I'm excited to see. I'm sure that's what you guys are excited to see. So without further ado, let's pop around the map. We've already got Doom, Zero Ojibo, Zero Yolks, hanging out on Brutal Beachhead, getting some metal, getting some stone, getting a little bit of wood here and there, and then getting their loadouts ready. Doom already got a lot of util for shields. That's good. Love to see that. Got a pretty decent loadout with a shotgun and a long-range rifle. Mid to long-range rifle. So we love to see that. I mean, very much looking forward to see how this goes. See if there's anything interesting happening around the map. Looks like potentially some infighting going on in Doom's courtyard between Dead Rider, Creepa, and Glumpit. Creepa gonna get some shots taken via Vaxify, Peter, and Bulla. Seems like we can't go anywhere without seeing those three. Incredible. Dia Rider, gonna go down. Glumpit, gonna go down. Creepa is gonna do his best to just get out of dodge. Swim out to the edge. Just try and not take any shots that are unnecessary. However, he's going to get some damage taken off. And that is going to be Creeper going down. However, we are now on the side of Peter, Bulla, and Vaxify. Already 3 elims on the belt. That is 4 squads already down on the board, though. This game is already going a little bit faster than we've seen in the last 2 matches. Great work to all the kids playing today. I know we're at the end of the day. It's getting a little bit draining. Everybody's getting a little ready to kind of hop off for the day. However, we are seeing some strong plays already just at the beginning of the round. Pancake Ninja is going to go down from Ollie. However, Jimmy taking some damage, it looks like. Lynn, Tiger. However, Jimmy is gonna get the knock on Esta. Gonna come over here. Break the slurp truck. Get him in the team back to full shields. Or near full shields. And as we see Jimmy in his fish out of water attitude that I love to see. Him and Lynn rocking this Agent Fish outfit. I love to see it. Jimmy living up to his name. In all of these games, by the way. Slippery. Sliding around. And I support it. I support it. I really do. 71 players still on the board. 26 squads still on the board. And we've got 11 storms to go. Be another team coming out. Jimmy's gonna get a couple of shots in. Over to Lynn, who is chasing Zoro. He's locked in. Sees his target. Zeroing in. He is gonna commit. Try and get some shots in. Gonna get some damage off. Gonna break those shields. He's got his team behind him. However, Jimmy is a little bit worse for wear. They are gonna want to be aware of that. Jimmy can't overcommit too much. However, Lynn is feeling adventurous. And Lynn is gonna try and make the cutoff here. And try and go around. Cut this off at the river. They are pushing into Grimgate territory, so they do need to be very careful. However, Lynn gonna get some shots off, get some damage on. They did get the knock on Zoru. That's gonna be Jimmy coming in clutch with the long-range shots. However, Tiger feeling a little saucy. Gonna fry that chicken. And One gonna get a Elim on his side as well. Lynn, Jimmy, and Tiger feeling pretty good right now. 3 Elims on the board for Jimmy right now. And we'll come back to them in a moment. However, One, Pixel, Magic getting some Elims on the board for themselves already at 8 Elims across the squad. And staring down Swiss in the water. Magic getting some damage off. Swiss gonna get knocked. However, Pixel gonna finish it off. Pixel gonna clean up that kill. Pixel is very low though. Gonna have to be very careful. Gonna take this time to get some extra materials, some extra utility. Medical items. Magic gonna throw some shots out there. We see Freeze, Gearzoid, and Chubb throwing some shots down toward Magic. Magic's gonna take a little bit of damage here, but he does have the medical supplies necessary to counteract that play. However, they have now gained the attention of Pixel and One here. Gearzoid already taking a lot of damage. Freeze in One's line of sight. Chubb taking the high ground though, so One's gonna need to be careful. However, Magic gonna throw some shots out as well. Still sitting at 48 shield, so he just want to be mindful. However, he is gonna regroup with One before they push this in. Pixel coming up on the side, gonna rush around with that jetpack. However, he is gonna get stopped just a little bit. Freeze with the shotgun, gonna try and get some damage out there. Magic standing on top, gonna get some damage output on the board. And that is gonna be Chubb going down. Freeze trying to get out. However, Freeze is gonna run straight into Peter, Vaxify, and Bulla. And that is gonna be a lot of damage that he just cannot take. And Vaxify is gonna get the Elim on Freeze. That is gonna knock out the other 2 on that squad. Pixel, Magic, and One. Gonna be looking Vaxify, Peter, and Bulla straight on. However, they have the high ground in this situation, and they have that upper hand. One gonna be using that Flowberry Fizz to give himself a little bit of a speed boost. Vaxify gonna get some damage off. However, Bulla gonna take even more. One trying to get some shots in. Gonna get some hits on Peter. Peter gonna take even more damage here from Magic. You see them desperately trying to hold their own. However, Pixel, One, Magic, never afraid of a challenge. Gonna rush this in. Peter taking a large amount of damage. Vaxify trying his best to build desperately up. However, taking a lot of damage from One and Magic. Pixel sitting on the sidelines, taking a lot of damage into Bulla. Gonna get that knock. Peter trying to build his way up and out. However, Pixel matching that energy. One keeping an eye. Magic keeping an eye. However, Peter's gonna try and run, but he is gonna get knocked via Pixel's gun. Gonna get that knock. Not the full Elim just yet, but Vaxify is trying his best. However, Vaxify is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Pixel coming up behind. Gonna get that Elim. Gonna finish him off. Gonna get that cleanup. And that is the cleanup crew signing off for this fight. Or if we pop over here, Pancake Ninja and Jack. A little bit of an interesting situation as we see Ollie and Ghost kind of trying to get some damage into them, breaking their builds as they build them. Pancake trying his best to get out, however, he is going to get knocked by Ollie. Ollie's going to get that elim, finish that off, and Jack, do his best to stay up and out of the way, trying to get the opportunity from Instorm to potentially save his teammates. Let's see what's happening over here on the lakeside. Shark, Diamond, and J-Bone getting some decent elims off over here. Trying to find that last player. However, they are not going to find him. They do get some... They reap some decent rewards, however, but they are going to use this jump pad to wiggle their way forward. They may be seeing a couple of people here soon. We see J-Bone already landing on top of Sunny. Gonna get some damage out. J-Bone coming in hot, but maybe a little too hot. Shark, however, coming up behind. Trying to get the cover. Trying to get this trade. Gonna get that trade on Sunny. Gonna get that vengeance for his man J-Bone. And they are gonna get that reboot card. And they are gonna live to see another day. And J-Bone did not go down in vain. They do get this reboot. Shark and Diamond coming in clutch once again. "14 squads left on the board, 39 players. And we are still only in Storm 4. There is still a lot of time for this game to play out a very different way.